Welcome to Yumi Podcast. Mother cares for him. He cries. We pushed him in a wheelchair to take him to the suburbs. He cried many times in the hospital, seeing money go away like water. He cried. One day, he used a razor to cut his wrist. After receiving emergency treatment for 5 hours, he had just returned from the dead, very tired, and very desperate. What was really unexpected was that the first person to leave him was his son. His son rarely visited him, not even showing his face once. Every time he called, he said that he was on a business trip and would visit him when he returned. What surprised me even more, my mother also suggested to me at this time that she wanted to break up with him. The two were originally unregistered. It was just a matter of slapping one each in each direction. Mom told me that she was old and couldn't take care of him. I can't help you at all, but I can't bring back a disabled father, implicating me. This is the cruel reality. I didn't want my mother to be an evil person, so I had to ruthlessly play the villain, deciding to come and talk about this breakup myself. I told him, still lying on the hospital bed, that Uncle Fuck, mother and daughter are sick. His tears flowed again like rain. I struggled to continue the cruel words. You know, my mother is old, too. These days, how she treats you, you have already seen. He continued to cry and nodded. I spoke again. Uncle Fuck, we still have to go to work. Mother and daughter's health is not good. See if that's okay. After you leave the hospital, go back to your house. I'll hire a nanny for you. Of course, the money will be paid by me. I will also visit you often. When it comes to this, I don't cry anymore. He nodded repeatedly, speaking gratefully. If so, great. If so, great. No need for a nanny, really. I walked out of the hospital campus with tears in my eyes, not sure if it was a feeling of relief after being released, or an unspeakable torment in my heart. I hired a nanny for him. Paid for it. Pre-expenses for 1 year. After that, I went to his house, hired workers to repair his house a little. I tried to be full of humanity. Not because of him, just to comfort the insecurity in his heart. The day he came home from the hospital, I didn't come to pick him up, but asked the driver in the unit to come pick him up. The driver after returning told me that Uncle Fuck asked me to say thank you to him, and said that even his own son could not do that. These words, which comforted me somewhat, relieved me somewhat, but this kind of consolation was inherently short-lived. On New Year's Day without him at home, we felt a bit bored. There was no one willing to bury his head in the kitchen, making all kinds of dishes for us. We sat down to eat dinner in the guest house. 5-star hotel. But can't feel the warm taste of Tet holiday anymore. Son on his way home. I want to eat carp made by Grandpa. My wife winked at her son to stop talking, but he became even more violent.